Welcome back to Living on the Ocean. My name is Arie Baartman and together with Cheryl Hudson we're working on Trimaran Dawn. We're gonna get sails up in this episode and we're gonna work on the Dyneema backstay and an extra forestay. And to protect the Dyneema we're gonna put a cover over the full Dyneema backstay, which was quite a big job, and take off the old stainless steel stay that has been on here for so long. This all took much more time than was planned and it even became dark. But the result was great and we were able to try out sails that we were never able to get up because we had nothing to hang sails onto on the front. And this lightwind foresail is something I really would love to sail on the ocean. We lengthened Trimaran Dawn on the Sandbank to give her a new rudder and also to make it possible to put more weight aft and get the bow of this boat to go up. It took so long, but eventually in the last episode we were able to use the new rudder and sail Trimaran Dawn, well actually move her by engine, to a place to anchor. But why did we go back to the Sandbank? There's the new rudder. We can move. No, we cannot yet. There's a lot more to do. We have to make holes in the boat, and that's really much better to do on a place where the water cannot come in. We need to make holes, as some of you suggested. How is this steering system gonna work if water comes in? Well, we need to make a place where the water can go back out. But where the water can come back out, the water can also come in. And for this we have to make it a very nice shape to bring that to a minimum. That's all gonna be for the next episode. But we had to be on the sandbank to drill those holes and close them for now with a bit of good old duct tape, because we don't want any water to come in when I'm working there. But that's the shape that eventually will be made in here for the water that comes from the steering system and the gases from the gas cans that are gonna be locked in there to leave this boat again. Inside the boat there's hardly place for us to sit now. Everything came out of the new built aft cabin. Because there's still the old transom that in the next episode also is gonna be completely removed. The weather isn't helping, so I have to walk from this part towards the new bit that you can see behind me, where I have to make the holes. And climbing over this is not handy, so this part is already disappearing in this episode. The rest is for the next one. Now I can go through here towards the new bit. But this episode is about the Dyneema Stays and the sails. And we have the Dyneema on the boat, we need to splice it and cover it. We don't know all this stuff, but there's so much about it on YouTube. First of all, Premium Ropes made so much videos about how to do it. But then there's also Rigging Doctor, Sailing Zingaro, Tula's Endless Summer and Luke from Kraken Structures. I want to thank you all for helping me and so many others with the information that you put in your videos. And in the description of this video we have put links to those channels for you to see how others with more experience than us have done it as well. Because here we're making the cover over a 19-meter backstay. And that takes a long time to slowly move it to there. There was a little wire inside, a little thread. Obvious to pull it over there. But that breaks if it is as tight as this one is. So there's a lot to learn. And specifically this part on how you get the sleeve over it. Everybody shows how you do the eye, but nobody really shows, at least I can't find, how do you get this cover over easily, because this takes a long time. But it's good to do it because it protects the Dyneema stay from the sunlight and from chafe. And basically as long as this cover stays good, chafe and the UV light has no influence on this stay and it will last a very long time. Now Dyneema is getting more and more popular, especially in the multi-hull world where you want to keep things light. And this book from Premium Ropes with the app helped tremendously. And all the questions that I had, because the book is full with great pictures. The text sometimes could be more, but then if you go to the app you find more about it on the app. And then there's also great, real good videos where you can follow every single move on how to make those nuts and splices. Now we are not supported by Premium Ropes, and that's why I also commented about all the other people of which I got information. But most information is coming, in my case, from this great book and the great company and the people behind it. I want to thank them, and I hope that all of you have a benefit in knowing them. I hope that some of this video will help you out if you're watching this, and if you have ideas, thoughts, experience, please comment in the comments below. We are very happy if you get involved in that way and help us out making Dawn sail again. It's almost a year now that we stopped her here on the Sandbank for all this work, but here we are. The small Genoa, yes, small. There's such big sails with this boat. The small Genoa is going back on the roll reef, and in front of that will come the new stay. We cannot do that before the back stay is on. But this is such a great moment, seeing the sails come back on, and I think the sails are so happy they can breathe, because they were just stowed away in this boat and they couldn't stay as dry as we wished. But they survived it. They came out better than I thought. A little bit of mildew here and there, and anybody that knows advice about how to get that out, that would be helpful, because obvious, it would be nicer if that would not have happened. I can imagine that you think, why are you getting that sail up already before the new backstay is on? Well, there's very little wind today, and this sail, since the boat cannot turn, the wind's also from the right direction, so we decided to do it now, since there's not going to be a lot of tension on there. And after some nice sunshine and a bit of air to this sail, we can roll her up with the roll reef system. I actually prefer hanged on foresails, just less failure with them in my opinion. And that's why we made with Dyneema an extra forestay with a sleeve on it, which also gives extra security against a breaking forestay. Now the hangs that you might have used on your stainless steel forestay probably have sharp edges, and it takes a lot of work to get them out if you already manage, and they will chafe into this forestay from Dyneema. So it's much better to make soft shackles as hangs, or make a system with Dyneema webbing around this new forestay.
Okay, Cheryl, continue.
Well, that same evening I'm going up the mast, because all I have to do is pull those two new made Dyneema Stays up, take the clifford pins out, and we made nice little stainless steel plates for the clifford pins to go left and right, and connect it all to the top. And as usually, things don't go as fast as you planned. I need a hammer, which is being pulled up with an extra rope that I lucky enough took with me. Experience helps a lot. The times I've gone for nothing up and down because you need something. Always take a little line with you, of course, you would say if you've done this before. But for those that never done it, that's really the way to do it. But then experience also should have taught me that never anything goes as fast as you want. And when you can get it out and it is more work to do it well, you end up sitting there with a torchlight quite late in the evening to get this job done and get the new stays in top of the mast. Well, good night, because the next day is the day for the mainsail. The mainsail finally is coming back out of Trimaran Dawn. It has been in there for also a year. We think it was December last year that we took it away. I had to re-speak this because the background wind in the microphone was too bad, so it's not really synchronized, but it's no other way than doing it this way. And the job is not going to be too easy because this heavy mainsail needs to be laid on top of the boom and would be easier to be done with more people. But it's a heavy sail, but an incredible nice sail. You can see the corners, there's leather on the corners. There's very nice plastic bits for the battens, and they can be tightened with an aluminium bolt with the Allen key to get tension on the battens instead of trying to do it with lashings and ropes or other system. This really works well. But let's get it on and let's try to do this alone. You think that this boat was built for solo sailing. Well, okay, the boom was a bit smaller, but they probably had a mainsail on already because this is actually too heavy to do alone. No, you cannot do that. It's too high. Okay. I can lay it on here. And am I now gonna climb on there. No, that's not gonna be a good idea. That's not gonna be a good idea. No, the idea is to ask somebody else to help you. But anyway, we can get it on and lay it in between the lazy jacks. Yeah, I was just saying with Twilight I could easily do this because that sail is so much smaller. This is 60 square meter with 4 reefs, a beautiful sail. But a bit of a struggle to get on. Can anybody of you come and help me? Why not having fun together? Yeah, that was nice to say. Quickly get an airplane and help me. Next time I should say this in advance. Anyway, after a bit of a struggle and also walking around on the wrong shoes, I'm actually making a mess of all the things how I should be doing it at the moment. And that has a lot to do with the fact that I want to use the weather. Because I know there's very bad weather coming and I want this covered up. You can see the clouds in some of this video. And after this episode, it was raining and raining. I've never seen actually such a long period of bad weather in this part of Portugal. It's been a very strange year for the weather. This has to go on those Harken cars. Another climb. Those Harken cars are very good. It's a great system. And it means that we can basically lift this sail because it slides so easy just by rope and only use the winch for the last bit. Cheryl went away with a canoe to get some things, and when she came back I managed already to get all the sail battens in and pull the sail up. And I gave her a fantastic look from the canoe, and lucky enough she was able to film some of it as well. I think it's absolutely clear how happy we were to see this back on the boat. We think she looks great. It's not modern because it's an old sail, it's 20 years old. But it's still in very good condition because it was remade when Trimaran Dawn was extended the first time to become a cruiser after she'd been the Racer Coat Basque. And now we have a forestay from Dyneema. We can finally try out this lightwind hanged on foresail. A lightwind Genoa? It says it's a code 0. And the little dots in the bottom, I may read it wrong, so tell me if you know, but I think we can pull this sail very nicely, also a bit more to the points of the side float, and use it also instead of only upwind, just easily to go downwind. Much easier to use for us than an asymmetric spinnaker or the 270 square meter normal spinnaker for this boat, which for me and Cheryl is just gonna be a lot of work to do, even when it has a snuffer. But all those things, snuffers, spinnakers, asymmetric, if you don't understand, if you're not familiar with sailing, that all sounds very confusing, and we will explain that in another episode. For now, this is the easiest for us. And being here on the sandbank, we cannot head into the wind, and the sail actually wants to fall in between the main float and the side float. But Cheryl very well keeps it off the sand, drops it a little bit all by herself, and then pulls on the clew. If she let go, then she has no clue. That's where that came from. But she pulls nicely on the clew and pulls the sail back onto the boat, letting it slowly come down. This is what I always wanted. A sail that we can handle in light weather conditions. And me filming this from a distance, you can see how massive it is. Cheryl looks like a tiny little dot. Cheryl, I'm so proud of you. A couple years ago, you didn't even know how to get in a dinghy, and now you row your canoe like a professional, and you take sails that we never had on the boat back on board like a pro. Well, you shouldn't be playing in between the sails. We need to fold it up. Get it nicely back in its back. It's worth to be treated well. And we have to be very careful. We have to check a lot of things on the rigging and on the railing and stuff, that there's nothing sharp that can easily cut this sail. I've seen 2-3 little holes that easily can be fixed with a sticker on it. Now you see me taking off all the hangs and putting the sail back in its back. Because you also see how the clouds have come more and more and they're really dark. We did nothing to the video, that was really how it was. Great to see, but not fun for the rain that's coming. So get the sail back in the back, Arie, before it starts raining. Actually, that's an old Bombard dinghy back. Probably the back lasted longer than the dinghy. And it makes a great cushion. I think it's very clear that we are excited about going sailing again. Well, we're very happy with this episode and we hope you enjoyed it as well. Please let us know with a like and in your comments. In the top left is the playlist of everything we did to Trimaran Dawn, and in the bottom left is a round button which you can click to subscribe to our channel and follow our adventures. Thank you for watching Living on the Ocean.